my art darlings. Know the art here. It has been a while. We are going to do a sketchbook walkthrough. You'll notice the video is a little different. It is on my phone. I'm testing out some new technology, so we'll see how it works. So we're going to open it up. Oh, I'll have to blur that out and that out. So usually the front cover, I like to just post random stuff on here, stickers that I have and the like. And then I never know what to put for the front cover. So I usually just put things of what I receive from artists that I love getting art from. So, like their notes, their thank you notes, their packaging usually has something cute on it. So, that's why I grab it. And I had a lot stored up for this sketchbook because I started to work on this as I was finishing up my previous one. And so some of the things in here are also cut out from a very old sketchbook that I no longer wanted. It had just some really random stuff in it that I was like, I'm never going to remember this. And so I kept the things that I really, really wanted to. So, like these pumpkins. And then my first very page that I worked on was for Tuna Snap's Secret Garden art challenge that she did. So here were some of my ideas for Secret Garden. I wanted to make it so it wasn't like the book or anything like literal. So I did end up with this piece. I'll show it up on the screen. Oops, sorry. I will show it up on the screen here of what the final product looked like, and then I liked to add just a couple stickers. Again, Mimikyu from an older sketchbook, really working on kind of a junk journal with this one as well. My next sketchbook is kind of a junk journal. And then I wanted to test out all of my markers that I had because I know a lot were starting to dry out. I also wanted to figure out all of the washi tape that I had. I do have more than this now, which you'll get to see in the next sketchbook, but that might not be for a while because I think I had this sketchbook. I think I wrote the date on here somewhere. Yeah, so this was spring 2022 to summer 2025. So that is a really long time. So that's like 3 years of stuff in here because I 2022, 2023, 2024 is when I had full burnout. I just didn't make any artwork whatsoever. So this is the compilation of 3 years trying to finish and fill this sketchbook. So then here are a couple more um, art business cards, some markers that I bought, some markers that I needed to buy and update. This was an idea, a cryptid tea party. So it had cryptids and they were going to have a little tea party. And then I was getting ready for the Hugh Vember challenge. And that is when my burnout really began to sink in. I had all of this stuff. I was so excited to do it, and then burnout happened, and I just didn't feel like doing anything. Um, I was thinking of creating a character for my channel, YouTube, and social media and stuff. So her name is Morph. She is a Mothman creation. So this was kind of my idea with it. And then um, to work on kind of filling this, because I like to go in and out of order of sketchbook. I don't like to do page and then the next page. I kind of flip back and forth between things. I don't know why. It must be my ADHD brain. This is from Art for Kids Hub. Since I am an art teacher, I really like drawing their stuff and I love their Halloween time drawings. So that's what this is. And then I bought a book for my students about how to draw some like cute monsters. So I was practicing them in this page right here, and then some more Art for Kids Hub stuff in here. I really wanted to work on coloring stuff. I took this journal with me on one of my trips to Japan, and thought I could color on the plane, but the plane was super bumpy, so I was like, I will just skip that then. Here's another one. It is a monster taco truck. That one was fun to draw, kind of get inspiration and stuff. And then these were some stationery idea notes. This is when I was starting to try and get heavier into selling my artwork and selling some different things besides just prints and stickers. So I was making notes based upon what other people had done, like a little scheduler sort of thing. I had the things figured out. I just never printed them or made them that way. But it was fun to do. And then some drawing to-do list ideas for me to work on and do. So I did some of these, not all of them. Some of them are still kind of in the idea stage on my iPad. And then just again that junk journal kind of thing, really working on collaging in my sketchbook. And then I got sick in February of 2023. And so all I did was like doodle that day. So this is one of the doodle pages. Kind of up here were my ideas for mermaid. I really liked the food thing. Some of these are just looking at uh, tuna snaps or some other artists, just because I just wanted to doodle. I didn't want to create anything. I just wanted just to have doodling in my sketchbook, not full drawing. So here is another mermaid. So I was getting really into the chibi drawings, and then I was also watching a lot of what's it called? Argoretsko. I'll put it up on the screen. So that's kind of what this is. And then also getting into One Piece more. I did make this into a sticker. This was a lot of fun to make. And then this is just based upon someone else's sketch. So again, my sketchbook is like me just practicing, and then sometimes an idea will pop up. But most of this in here, because of the burnout, is just practicing, is what it was. Um, so Tuna Snaps had like an alien thing. I wanted to do kind of a cat alien thing, so I made that into a sticker. Um, I don't think I made any, and then I think I made this one into a sticker. Those were really cute and fun. So I had like Don't Stop Believing, and then try to make it like a alien uh, language. This one was cute. I was going to make it into a sticker kind of based off of this, and then like an alien paw where it's like the Spock thing. That's what it is. And then like a space juice. And then I did the comic in a day, which I really enjoy doing anyway. So I do it besides just that comic day. So this is when I was sick. So I made peanut butter with banana. I read for a little bit. I sketched, and then I drew on my iPad. I had some kind of arrangement of like soup and stuff, and then I played on my phone. I took a shower to kind of cleanse myself because I think I had been sick for a couple days, and then I painted my toenails. I was into Duolingo, and it was telling me that I needed to do it. I watched some Game Grumps, and then I had some dinner, which was just toast. And then, so I didn't get my husband sick. We kind of sat in two different rooms, which we call like the sick room, and I watched a movie with him over Discord. And then I was too terrified to leave my bed, and then I took some NyQuil. I took a bath to relax, and then I went to bed. And then we have some more mermaids. These are just some sketches of things. Some cute mermaids, and then some more drawing ideas. The highlighted stuff are the things that I actually did myself, I think. Or no, the highlighted ones are the ones that I still wanted to do, sort of thing. And then Bochi the Rock was an anime show that I was really getting into, so I drew a lot of her stuff. And then I was drawing some sketches based on an artist that I really, really enjoy. I think it's M and Sprout is her stuff. So I was just kind of um, getting ideas from her stuff, which brought me to making Mothman because the Mothman became kind of a big thing for me. So I made this. I'm hoping to turn him into a sticker. He's on my iPad. You can see him on my social media with, um, actually, I'll just post it right here for you to look at because it's super cute. This is from a long time ago, back in 2020. So again, I have some pieces that were like in bigger, not sketchbooks, but like bigger paper. And so I just cut them out and put them in here. And then I made a Medusa space. I saw this like drawing of a girl with space buns. And then I was like, oh, what if Medusa had space buns? So that's what I did. So that's what I did here. Um, and I made it so each like thing was a different snake because I wanted to work on drawing snakes because I really got into drawing them that summer when I made this. And then this is a how to not a how, but a draw this in your style piece. I was like, oh, maybe I'll instead of doing like big pieces of draw this in your style, I'll just do them in my sketchbook. And so that's the artist that this one's based off of. And then another like to-do list of ideas of some drawings, traditional pieces. And then we have Oti the Rock. And then this was for my Dungeon Master vest that I made for a Halloween costume. I will post a picture right here for you to look at. So I hand drew most of these onto the vest. That was really fun. And then I have a couple things here from some artists that I really enjoy, some stickers, really doing that collaging stuff, more Game Grumps. And then during my burnout, uh, like Blue Sky and Threads came out, and I was like, oh, maybe I just like reinvent myself, like redo everything because I was looking through some like older sketchbooks, and I always labeled my stuff Dazed Bunny, and then I always had this little bunny right here. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that and make a bunny persona. And then she'd have a cute little mascot, the bunnery. And so that's what this is. I mean, this is what my PFP is on my social media now. So slowly kind of changing it over, but I don't think I want to change to from Know the Art just because I do have quite a few people who know me by that name, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I change it to Dazed Bunny? And then here's another draw this in your style. Here's the artist or hashtag. And then I saw this going around of like just drawing eyes, so I practiced that. Um, I don't remember all of these eyes. I think maybe I do. Yamato, Nezuko, Power, and then Ow from the singing one. I don't remember what it's called. Oh my gosh. Pop off in the comments if you remember this name. I'll probably just put it up here because I'll research it while I'm editing. And then I have my One Piece page. I wanted to do a full spread of One Piece. I am bummed that there's this little green spot on Sunny right here, but I was so excited because I had just watched the episode where this happens, and I was like, I want to draw 5 Luffy. So I did, and then I drew some other fun characters and stuff in there as well. And then here is another kind of sketch day thing. So this was for a leadership conference. I didn't fill all of the spaces just because I wasn't quite sure what to draw, so I just wrote what I had. So I woke up, had breakfast. We did like this, like loyal, or like I'm a golden retriever. Like there was lion, beaver, otter, or something like that sort of thing. Um, and then I went to the World Cafe to pick up some stuff, and then lunch, and then We exchanged numbers for some people, finishing the conference. Pretzel bites for the snack. I drove home. Gas, gross. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that anymore. And then I watched a vlog video, browsed on Reddit, played D&D, probably got ready for bed, and then went to bed. And then I wanted to do like a practice comic book page of my very first OC, like true, like fleshed out OC here. I don't remember her name. Oh, it's gonna bug me. I'll have to put it up. But she and her pumpkin Ichabod. I remember his name, but I can't remember. Astrid. There we go. Astrid and Ichabod. I was wanting to do like a mystery comic, kind of like Scooby Doo style with these two. So that's kind of what this is for here. And then I have Rat King. I was going to make a sticker of the Rat King. I'm working on it. I just need to get it colored and stuff. And then practice with my Posca markers. This is based upon Persephone from Lore Olympus. I was turning her into a mermaid, and I got these really cool, like, glitter gel pens by Owuhu. So I wanted to test them out because they were really fun. This is from a cheesecake or bakery thing in Japan. I like that it was spooky themed, and the cheesecake was good, so I kept that. This is based upon a Japanese artist, like long time ago, who made this frog, and I so funny. So I had no thoughts, just vibes on there. And then just some artwork from artists, stickers to fill the page. Again, that dazed bunny character, kind of drawing her in a different way. Posca marker practice, collaging, just doodling away. Um, this was fun. I actually have these as stickers now. My snails with different food on them. And then my beloved, like Jaden Animation, has um, Chikawa, which I have fallen in love with. I have Hanamaru Obake from Sanrio. Oh, he is an artist ghost, and he gives you um little Hanamarus if you do good. Even if you do bad, you'll do good, sort of stuff. And he's super cute, and I love him so much. I have bought almost every single thing of his. I even have like this guy right here. He sits right above me while I work on artwork because I love him so much. All right, so on to the next page. We have a piece or a page based upon Milky Tomato. I really got into them recently, and I loved their clown core stuff. So I decided to sketch out some ideas based upon them. So I made my dazed bunny persona as a clown, and then myself as a bat fursona, if you want to call it that, a clown piece as well. I want to turn this into a sticker. Um, I have already made this piece. I'll put it up here. I might turn this into a sticker. I don't know. We'll see if I become Dazed Bunny. Another piece done in the past, and then a collage page. So this piece, the Minuto, is from a sketchbook that I did in 2016 when I first started this big art journey. I got rid of it because it wasn't really anything of importance. There wasn't really anything in there for me and that I wanted to keep except for just a couple pieces. So this is one of them. And then another sticker collage thing. I like to put just random stickers that I'm like, I really want to use them at some point, but then I never do end up using them. And putting them in the sketchbook is probably the best option for me. This piece is based upon Game Grumps. I love Game Grumps so much. These are just sketches of their stickers that they had on their website. Again, I'm not going to make anything out of this. it was just for me to have a little bit of practice. And then I had another day in the life sort of thing. We'll get a little bit closer. So this is based upon another day in the life drawing, but this is for a weekend for a leadership conference that I went to in Detroit. So I have some pieces that I needed to fill in. Um, I was having some really bad bathroom problems. And then we talked about like a fable with a giraffe and an elephant. And then art repairs, the use of Google Maps for the leadership thing that I'm in. There was a hot dog challenge because apparently Detroit has the best hot dogs. I am not a hot dog eater. I am a vegetarian, so I could not participate, but it was funny. Kawas was big in Detroit, so there was a sculpture there of his. We went to an art museum, which was really, really nice. I loved it. Um, we had a kind of an inside joke of girl with plant with some other people. We had sushi, and then I got to talk about one of my favorite card games called Set. And then I did make some purchases at the art museum so I could have for my classroom. And then we went to the Heidelberg project, which was amazing because we also got to meet the artist, and I was kind of starstruck by it. Um, so it was really like a really cool experience to have. This piece is just kind of another doodle page with Dun Da Don and practice with my Posca markers. This was my name tag for a job that I was at. This is a print off piece of a traditional slash digital piece that I did. This was me printing it off so I could like practice coloring. And that sort of thing when I went to Japan. But again, I never got around to doing it when I was there. This is a piece from Japan. We went to what is called the Vampire Cafe, and I was just drawing some of my favorite foods that I had there. One was this squid ink pasta. I didn't get to finish drawing it, but it had this like Grim Reaper, like Parmesan thing on it, and then it said death, which was really cool. And then this was a poisonous spider dessert. It was just like chocolate ice cream with like wafer legs and like cherry eyes. It was really cute. And then this is my uh, dazed bunny with the bunnery is what we I guess I called it. This was just another practice for me with that. And then this is a drawing study of tuna snaps. I do a couple of these in here. So these are all her pieces that I just kind of doodled to, get some practice in and really focus on looking and proportions and that sort of thing. This is a digital piece for a traditional piece that I have where I painted this onto a canvas and then I had the eyes bleed blood, but the blood was embroidery. So I embroidered the blood on the eyes. It was really cool. And then this is my birthday week end. I guess it became a weekend sort of thing. So I did like a spa day to start it off, and then we went to Milwaukee to see Blink 182. And the Bucks are my favorite basketball team, so I was putting my hand up against Giannis's, and it's my hand is very very small. And then we saw Blink 182, and then at the end of their show they had these little like white confetti things that looked like a certain thing. And then so much shopping. We went to the shopping mall there. Well, actually, I think we went to a different shopping mall. It wasn't in Milwaukee, but we did a lot of shopping. And then I spent so much, I was like, I'm never going to financially recover from this, from like the Tiger King meme. And then we did an escape room, and that was our time. And then we did more shopping. Um, this is my husband. It says, Heather, you have a problem. I go, help. And then we went to the Rainforest Cafe, not to eat, but to get the volcano for my birthday, which was awesome. Then we went back to the hotel and soaked in the hot tub. And then I found out that Brad lost his credit card. So we had to get it back. I had to call the store that it was at, and we just went back and picked it up. It wasn't that bad. And then we went to a Renaissance fair, and I got this bejeweled spider, which is actually right here. So this is what I got. It's a spider made out of a D20 with my favorite colors on it. So that was really cool to get. And then I also have one that I can clip in my hair too. So I clip it every so often. And then I got some henna on my hand. And then, of course, we gotta go to IKEA and Kura Sushi. And then we went home. So that was a very eventful couple of 4 days for my birthday in 2024. And then this piece is just me practicing doodling, and then I kind of colored this in on my trip to Japan. So it was just practicing with the colored pencils I had. Another collage page there. And then this piece, as it says, based on a student drawing of 2023, it was their sketchbook prompt was to put their art teacher into some sort of costume, and they put me in a koi costume. And so I did my interpretation. Like, this is pretty much what it looked like, but it wasn't colored in or anything. And but this is their representation of me. So it's like it's corn. So that I really enjoyed this piece. This was a lot of fun. I might make this a like a sticker or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a keychain for myself. And then here's my whiskey rabbit kind of study that I did. I really got into her stuff as well towards the end of the year of 2024, I think. Um, so I really enjoyed kind of practicing because I love her style. I love kind of like the basic black and white with just a little bit of color sort of thing. So that was really cool. And then this was a sketch from some professional development we did for teaching. It was like drawing like who you are, like your timeline or something. And so I drew Pikachu and Sakura from Card Captors because they were kind of my first starts in like doing a lot of art, especially in middle school. So that's why I have these here. They're very important to me. And then this was just a fun little spooky doodle page. I was trying to color it on the flight to Japan, but again, it started to get bumpy, and it was just hard to keep coloring. But I did get a lot of compliments from the flight attendants. They're like, "Oh, sugoine," and I was like, "Oh, thank you. That's so sweet," sort of thing. So that was really nice. This was a draw this in your style challenge that I never finished. Um, I just never got around to it. The burnout was starting to get strong there. And then this is based upon a piece of a art friend I used to have. I don't know if we're mutuals anymore, but I really liked this piece of theirs. So I kind of did a draw this in your style for that piece. And then just some fun little stickers to fill, kind of like have a theme with the stickers. It was kind of a Mothman sort of theme for this. And then I drew this when I was getting my master's. So it says, "Stop being a silly goose." My husband says this to me all the time when I'm freaking out or just stressed out about things. He's like, "Stop being a silly goose," but not in a mean way, just kind of like a haha, you're just being ridiculous at this point. And then this is based upon a piece of art from Crowing Hens. Um, I really, it resonated with me. It's okay to be anxious. So that's why I drew it in here, just to have a reminder. And then this was another draw this in your style in here. I had finally finished it after 3 years. And I only wanted to color in the pants anyway. So I was glad that I could finish it. And then this was also from my master's program. It's what's in your toolbox. So you have or not toolbox, tool belt. So you have a little tool belt and you have the things that help kind of revive you from burnout. So I have like My husband and myself, and then things that I enjoy doing and the things that I enjoy eating and that sort of thing. So these are the things that are in my tool belt. And let me know what's in your tool belt. What helps you get past burnout and that sort of thing. And then just another collage page of stickers and papers that I like finding. And then this is from another artist that I used to follow. I don't know if I still do. I don't remember who they are because this was back in 2012, but not 2012, 2022. And I really liked this character. It was super cute. So I did a kind of draw this in your style for this. And then that is the end. And then on the back are my stickers. Some of these stickers I've had since before 2022, like back before 2020, because I remember getting some of these at like a comic book convention. Um, so it's just interesting to see that I don't fill my sketchbooks very fast. Sometimes I do, especially if I'm trying to do like a theme with them, and then sometimes I don't. Like this one took me um took me so long to finish filling. I mean, like this sticker I got back in 2019, 2020. This was the start of my collection with tuna snaps. These stickers are back from 2018 with my first visit to Japan. So it's really interesting to see um, what I do and how I fill it with in my sketchbook, because I really do want to see my sketchbook as like an inspirational thing, not like having finished works. Or, and if you notice in this one, I don't have a lot of finished things in here. And so it's really nice to see the difference from my sketchbooks previously until now, and especially when you see my next one, which is not done at all. But again, I'm really working on trying to just make my sketchbooks more of a junk journal along with an inspiration journal. So if I do ever get stuck, I can look back on them and find references or ideas. So then that way I can kind of get out of that slump or that burnout. But thank you for sticking with me and for helping me deal with all the technical issues with my new gadgets. I am going to try and figure out how to make this widescreen for the next time I have to do something, so it's not just the the setting of the phone. But I hope you eat well, sleep well, and drink well. And I will see you all next time. Bye.